at Bank of America right now. I'm getting ready for my first speaking competition. I guess I'm excited. People ask me, are you excited? I guess so. It's the first time around no block, so we're about to see. It's a beautiful day out. My dad's coming. What up, Pop? Wish my mom can be here. What up, Mom? But we're going to let it do what it do. See if we can bring home a victory today since we are competing. Yeah. November the 4th, 2009, baby. Yeah. Well, since I can't use the camera and speak at the same time, I'm going to take the camera up to my partner B, Bryant Ball. I ain't mean to put your government on there in case folks looking for you, but hand the camera over to my boy, let him record while I do my thizzle. So I'm about to walk up to his building real quick. There's a little party going on behind me back there. I don't know if y'all can see it, but yeah. All right, let's go holler at B.
You see this? Record.
Yeah, with the red. Yeah.
And how do you zoom in and out?
Sure. Yeah, this is my boy B right here. He gonna be recording me. I had to hire him because I can't be speaking and trying to record at the same time. You know, I will do it now. Don't get it twisted. I will do it. But it's not necessary today, fellas.
Let's see him hold the camera and speak at the same time.
I will do it, believe it, but it's not necessary. It's not necessary. Let's see if we can get a shot of the city over here. The beautiful view of Phoenix, man. I don't know if y'all can see that in the backdrop. Yeah. Got a little view from work, man. It's not much, but you ain't dealing with much. You gotta take what you can get, you dig? I ain't.
Why my formula for sustained optimism? Why Nelson Thomas?
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. My name is Nelson. Why Nelson Thomas? Most of you know me as Nelson. And I want to talk to you today about my formula for sustained optimism. And before we can get into my formula for sustained optimism, we must first make sure that we all have a clear understanding of what optimism is. Now, optimism is the tendency to look on the more brighter side of things, or to expect the most favorable results from any given situation. Most people who know me would consider me to be an optimist. And I would consider the majority of the people in the room to be optimistic some of the time. But what we want to do is find a way that we can engender a spirit of consistent optimism. Because as you know, team managers and leaders that we have in the room, if you start out in the #1 position at the beginning of the month, but by the end of the month you're at the last of the reports, then you didn't really maintain and sustain. So what we want to do is figure out how can we maintain and sustain optimism. I put together a formula that I call LET. That's love, empathy, and trust. Now, when we talk about love, I'm not talking about love between you and your boo, even though that's sweet. I'm talking about love for life, love for what you do, love for your community, love for each other, and love for yourself. And you'll find that if you use love, that a lot of the tasks that seem to be so hard will become simple. Case in point, say we're downtown Phoenix, summer, 110 degrees. You have a 55-pound bag that you have to carry for 1 mile. How enthused would you be to carry a 55-pound bag, 110 degrees, downtown Phoenix, 1 mile? You probably wouldn't be very enthused about that. But let's say that same 55-pound bag is your child. That 1 mile distance is the hospital. Think about the enthusiasm you would have then. Simply by using love and a lot of things that we do, we'll find that they will become so much simpler, so easier, and so much easier for us to obtain. Love. Now the second one is empathy. I could talk all day about empathy because right now as a bank, when we think about the customers that we have calling into the bank, we think about the banking center managers, we think about the associates in customer service, the associates in checkings and savings. If we don't deploy empathy when we're talking to our customers, then you'll find that we could lose customers. And it is a fact that it's 10 times cheaper to retain customers that you have opposed to going out to seek new customers. Now, if you look at some of the most extraordinary economical times that we're going through now, these fees that we choose to waive or not waive, or sometimes the difference between someone's meal or the child's school clothes. So when we're dealing with people, we have to be empathetic. Now, I was driving to work the other day. I don't have a long commute, so I don't anticipate any problems. So I was riding on Jefferson Street, and I was getting ready to make a right on the 16th Street, as I do every morning, and this guy out of nowhere just comes and cuts me off. So immediately, I feel my face just start to ball up. I start itching on my arms, so that's what I do when I get mad. So I felt my arms. started itching under my arms. I hit the little button on my seat. I let my seat up. Then I adjusted my rearview mirror. I was nervous too because he almost made me crash. So now, and I adjusted my rearview mirror. And right when I was adjusting my rearview mirror, I caught a glimpse of myself, and I was like, boy, you look real stupid right now. Then I thought about it. I said, what if that was his last occurrence at work and he would have been fired? Or what if something happened to his child, his wife, or a member of his family? I didn't know. But I had to be empathetic and understanding in that situation, opposed to just jumping to a conclusion, because I didn't know what his case was. You must be empathetic, understanding, simply putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. Now, the last point is trust. And it is a fact that business organizations that have more trusting relationships are generally more successful businesses. That is a fact. It is also a fact that people who have more trusting relationships tend to be healthier, happier people. There was a study done by Dr. Pierre Ferrucci in his book, The Power of Kindness, where there was 100 people between the ages 55 and 80. And he found that the people who were more trusting in their relationships were actually healthier people. Now let's think about trust in the dynamic of football. Anybody here like football fans? Yep. All right, we got a couple football fans. So let's think about this. Right? So you have quarterback. Quarterback hikes the ball. He drops back, and he throws the ball to the receiver. He's not throwing the ball to where the receiver is. He's throwing the ball to the spot where he anticipates the receiver being and having hope, faith, and belief that the receiver will be in the spot. And at the same time, as the receiver is running his route, he's running to the spot where he anticipates the ball being, and he has faith, hope, and trust in his quarterback, and that is the foundation of trust. Now, as I stand here before you, thinking about me, I'm an optimist. Most people who know me will say, yeah, Nelson, he's a pretty optimistic guy. But as I stand here on November the 4th, 2009, the one-year anniversary of the first African-American president being elected in the United States, I have a renewed sense of optimism. I have a renewed sense of faith. And I honestly believe that anything is possible. We are